funding that they're looking for and the help that they're looking for, and to connect them with people who can support them financially, with business skills, marketing skills, and other kinds of resources. So thank you for joining us. Just to let you know, due to SEC guidelines, which protect all of us from being overrun by bad investments, the pitchers will not be giving any financial information. So don't wait for that. It's not coming. If you want that information, please follow up with them. Ask afterwards. They're ready to give it to you. They're ready to answer all your questions. So please follow up with them. We encourage you to reach out to them when they're done pitching. Each of these folks is going to give a 5-minute pitch. It's timed. So when you see Bonnie holding up their little cards and telling them to stop talking, that's why. And then we're going to hold Q&A until the end. So if you have any questions, just feel free to wait and hold on to those. And now we're going to have just a quick word from Jenny Mish, the Executive Director of the Sustainable Business Council. Thanks.
So we are so excited to be doing this with CFAC. Thank you, Annie. I'm sure you all know about CFAC and the Sustainable Business Council. The Sustainable Business Council was the first organization to do retail buy local in Missoula, and now it's changed those norms. We're in the business of changing norms. This summer we want to ask Missoulians to spend 10% of their local food budgets, of their total food budget on local food. So we're trying to increase up the ante and increase demand for local food. And we also know that Missoula County residents own $12.1 billion in investments, in financial investments that are not real estate or businesses or land. And so we want to, in the future, do more events like this that help the public think about changing norms in terms of where we invest and finding ways to help and encourage local investment. So we're thrilled to be invited to participate tonight and have you all here. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry we don't have chairs for everybody. I want to say special thanks to, well, of course, the SBC and CFAC, and also to the USDA and MSU Extension, who are all co-sponsors of tonight's event. We also want to say thanks to Bravo Catering and Petite and Big Sky Brewing and all of our volunteers for making tonight's event possible. So I know everybody's eager to hear our presenters. I'd like to introduce our first presenter from Sunrise Coffee Shop and Moonlight Kitchens. This is Ann Little. There we go.
Hi, I'm Ann Little, and my husband Pat and I own Moonlight Kitchens over in the South Franklin to Fort neighborhood, and we are part of the growing, vibrant, essential local food movement in western Montana. And we strongly feel that within 15 years, local food will not just be an option. It will be, with peak oil and climate change, maybe our only choice for good, healthy food. Here's a shot of a commercial kitchen, not ours, not yet. And Moonlight Kitchens are intended to act as a conduit in the farm to table network in Missoula. And we will actively facilitate purchase of local goods by our cooks by helping with ordering and delivery and consolidating and coordinating that effort. Now, we can't tell our cooks what to buy, and we can't tell them where to buy it, but we can make it easier and cheaper for them to buy local, and we intend to do that. We also meet the need of the neighborhood for access to and understanding of local foods, and we have intentionally designed our space to facilitate that and to encourage people to cook. Now you can see that one of our, part of our project is a small coffee shop, and this is an artist rendering, and on the right side here are sliding doors that look into that community kitchen. So people who are in the coffee shop can see people cooking, and when those doors are open, we've got more seating for cooking classes and other food events. The target market for the kitchens, this is Julia Child. What really happens behind the scenes. The target market is for all cooks in the Missoula, greater Missoula area. And we are going to be open 24/7. And according to the Missoula Health Department, there's a huge demand for good kitchens to work in. And this is why I'm here. I wanted to start a little soup cart, and I couldn't find a good commercial kitchen to use. And so I decided to build my own, or two. So, the kitchens create a critical connection of healthy food to the community through a CSA drop, beginning cooking classes, kids events, contests, tastings with local food, and private rentals. We help new food ventures get their toes wet by offering rookie rates and help with the paperwork that's involved with that. And we're going to partner with the County Extension, Eat Smart, Garden City, Harvest, COT, CFAC, and anyone who is offering access and information about nutrition and food. Moonlight Kitchen works on a triple bottom line business model: people, planet, and profit. And as an example of planet, we're going to have compost bins that will use our food scraps, raised bed gardens so we can get fresh herbs for our cooks, and we'll have recycling bins and throughout the building. Home Resource is going to be taking our demolition materials for resource, and one of our for reuse, and one of our long-term goals is to put solar on the roof for our hot water. We're continuing to contact food truck owners, caterers, and small manufacturers, sort of our specific market. We've started organizing our cooking classes and our seasonal events, and we'll be sponsoring a monthly First Friday South open house that will feature our cooks and the products that they create. We expect to be successful because we have business experience, we've got connections in the community and with local farmers already. And so far we've purchased mostly used equipment, and we've got our contractors lined up. We've got our architectural stuff done. We purchased the building. We got our building permit on Monday. And we've got our brand new La Marzocco GB5 2-group espresso machine, which is the only one in town, I think. And some convection ovens that aren't so sexy. We have a top-notch team. There's our list of professionals, and also our food advisors. I have over 30 years working in small businesses and extensive work in the food industry here, and Pat's background is in, I'm done. Okay. We want to have this open 10, sorry. Anyway, bon appetit.
So our next presenter is Juliana Peters from Red Hen Farm.
I'm Julie Eng Peters, and I'm with Red Hen Farm and Orchard. My husband and I own and operate. It's a U-pick operation. We are committed to having unsprayed, fresh produce that you can pick yourself, so you can monitor the good practices, and you can also make sure you get the best quality while you're out there. We have quite a few varieties of strawberries. That's our main crop at this point. These are raised beds that we started with a couple of years ago, and now here's where we are. We'll be starting our third commercial season of U-Pick. If you will, just imagine you are one of these people out there. The sun is beating down on your head and shoulders. You can smell the sweet smell of strawberries wafting up. You grab a strawberry, take a bite, and that juice just goes right down your chin. You say, this is amazing. And it is, you gotta get out there. So we are just so excited to bring people out there. This is kind of our gift to the community at this point. We love fruit, and there aren't very many options to get local unsprayed fruit. So we are also, I should side note, we are only 5 miles from here, so you could even ride your bike. Although I did have someone do that with a bucket and it fell to the side and it was hard. It was really fun. Our mission is to provide our family and friends and community with local unsprayed fresh fruit and produce. This is what it looks like when we're going to farmers market. You can't really see, but this is a quarter, and so that's the size. And I'll tell you, those big ones are just as juicy and yummy as the little ones. We also have put in a strawberry patch. We have quite a few varieties of strawberries. There's a distillery that's interested in one of our autumn varieties, which is pretty exciting. And we put in an orchard. This is how it kind of all began, but we have about 500 plus trees, quite a few varieties. It won't be ready till 2015. Mostly apples. We also have peaches, and then we'll be planting pears and plums this year too. So this is just a little example of harvest, but this is an idea we're doing this year called Pick Your Own Dinner. And it just seems like a fun idea to have people be able to pick. We've started from seed, just thousands of plants, different vegetables, herbs, and flowers. So first of all, we want you to come out and buy some starts from us. And second of all, come and just pick your own salad. Bring your salad dressing, have a picnic. We do eggs. We also have bees, mostly for pollination, but we do have some honey. Our markets are our U-Pick. We love going to farmers markets. And then we have some relationships with area restaurants like Cafe Dolce and Scotty's Table and Buttercup Cafe. And we're in dialogue with a few more. We feel like we're kind of producing all of this wonderful stuff that needs to get out to people so it doesn't waste. And that's just an exciting place that we're finally at. So our advertising, you can find us on Facebook. We email. I have a list back there at that table you can sign up. Craigslist is a great way to find us, and the Pick Your Own website. Honestly, if you go Pick Your Own Montana, we are kind of the only gig. So Red Hand Farm. Our hope for the future is really this mission of hoping that people will eat local and fresh. The ways to do that are to come to our farm, to support these amazing restaurants that care about what their food tastes like, so they buy food from farms like us. And then we're hoping to do some value-added ideas that will allow people to eat our food later on in the year. So like a commercial dryer was one idea we had, and a cider press, and we welcome other ideas as well. So if this isn't enough to bring you out to see us, we also are committed to sustainable practices. This is a permaculture idea, hugelculture. Under these berms we have green wood that's decomposing, and that's creating warmth, and it retains moisture so we can plant our pumpkins, our squash, our tomatoes. That heat is going to help us quite a bit. We also have an earth battery in our greenhouse. So this is a fan blowing hot air from the top down to the bottom. It goes 4 feet below in a series of pipes. And then that heat emanates through the night, keeping us about 15 degrees above what's outside. So it extends our season on both ends. And then we grease power a lot of our vehicles, and we're going to try to get our tractor online with that too. So how can you resist this? Boy, you got to come out and pick. Taste the difference. Fresh and local, Red Hen Farm and Orchard. Thank you.
Remind you that there's a table back there with our presenters can have materials out there. If you haven't been there, please stop by. Our next presenter is the one and only Laura Garber from Homestead Organic Farm. Welcome. So my husband Henry and I own Homestead Organic Farm in Hamilton. We've been farming for about 13 years. We've been about 10 years at our place in Hamilton. Little look around the farm. We have goats. We have 6 hoop houses. And here I am planting beets that we're growing for seed. This is one of the best attractions on our farm, is our dog Onion. And on the tractor, and this is some volunteers helping us plant beef garlic. This is me in the greenhouse. One of the things we focus on is providing really early season vegetables, so we're using our hoop houses to be a month ahead of things so that we get to market with a lot of fresh produce before other people, so that then later in the season when we're working on other things, we're kind of sharing the market with people. So we're trying to be early because in the midsummer we're working on our programming, which I'll tell you about in a minute, and seed growing, so other farmers are able to fill in what we're not doing and we're able to fill in what they're not doing. We have a lot to offer for kids on our farm. This is our friend Indy, the goat. We have eggs and meat from our chickens. This is poor chicken this winter. We're raising heritage turkeys, and so here they are let out into the salad bar at the end of the season. Last year we let them on to the end of the broccoli. So these were last year's Thanksgiving turkeys for a lot of people in Hamilton and Missoula. We have 2 incubators, so we have a 400 egg capacity at any given time. So we're raising heritage turkeys and chickens, partly because we want people, there's a lot of people growing heritage turkeys to sell now, and we really want to encourage that we're also providing those chicks for people, that we're not all buying heritage chicks that we're raising from Iowa. Like, why aren't we buying heritage chicks that are being raised in Montana? And so that's what we're trying to fill that need, and that's what we're doing. We're also working on seed growing and adapting crops to do really well in Montana. We're part of the new Triple Divide Seed Cooperative that you're going to hear about. And so here we are growing some kale for seed and then using a couple different really basic methods to get the seed ready for other growers. So we have a lot of things at our farm which make our facility a great place to have. Farm camp, for example, which is we're really focusing on programming now. We can grow food, we really enjoy connecting with the community that way, but our programming is what we're really focused on right now. So we have a playground for programming. We have a certified commercial kitchen. We have a guest house and a pole barn, which are basically an outdoor classroom and an indoor classroom. So we have a great facility for kids and adults to come to the farm and have a place to hang out. For farm camp, we turn our pole barn into their outdoor hangout. They have all their daily out of the sun activities in the pole barn, and then like the last night of farm camp, they have their dance party in the pole barn that's only lit with Christmas lights. It's pretty cool if you're 12. We have a lot of other programs and events on the farm. We do volunteer for veggies, so here we have some people that were out a couple weeks ago helping us in the hoop house in exchange for produce. We host a lot of classes, like this is an Envirothon team that came to our farm to learn about sustainable agriculture, and here they dug a soil pit and they're learning to understand the different horizons of soil, and then being able to see how we're using our farm to make sure our soil stays healthy. We have a lot of farm parties. We have goats, lots of goats. And the main thing we're doing is farm camp. So this will be the 3rd year that we've hosted farm camp on our farm. We have a week for children that are in elementary school and then a week for kids that are in middle school. And this is one of the projects they did. They decorated the end wall of one of our hoop houses. This is the poster they made at the end of last year. All the things that they did were the best parts of farm camp for them. Another couple of pictures. Chicken daycare. Plantings. The dance party. We have kids from the Bitter Youth Home that come out on a weekly basis also. So what we're trying to do is expand this programming. So this year we're offering 2 weeks of farm camp again, and we're also offering a youth farm camp internship for high schoolers. So we're recruiting 8 high schoolers who are going to come spend 3 weeks on the farm, learn about the farm, kind of build their own capacity, and then they're going to be the camp counselors. So we're super excited about that. I'm almost done with class visits. We're always improving, and so what we're hoping to do is to improve the pole barn so it's a better outdoor classroom, improve the indoor classroom, make the playground safer, have an outhouse so we can have better programming, and we have all the tools we need except we need your help. Thank you.
ready to think about their favorite flavor of ice cream. So think about eating a scoop of that favorite flavor while you're standing in a green pasture like this, staring at the Mission Mountains after you just met the cow who produced the milk and cream that went into your ice cream. This is a cow to cone experience. That's what we want to bring to all of you guys. How are we going to get there? Well, we have a few values. We want to be good land stewards. The way we want to do that is through managed grazing. The cows are in what we call paddocks. It's a certain amount of grass that they can eat in 12 hours, and then we're constantly moving them. It's better for our soils, it's good for the cows, and it gives us exercise here and there. It's a lifestyle and a livelihood for us. We love farming. We love being out there with the cows. It's such a part of who we are, but we also have to make a living doing it. We want to be seasonal milkers. Generally you hear about dairy farms, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. You know, so we want to just have the cows out there when the grass is green, let them do their cow thing, make milk, and then they get a break. And a side effect of that is we get a break also. We want to engage and create community through our open gate policy, so anybody that wants to come out can come and meet the cows, you can hug a sheep, you can feed a calf, whatever, you know, even if you just want to come out and, you know, stare at the mountains, that's what we want to do. And then our animals are our family. It's not just their employees or tools for the trade, they're really a part of who we are. This is Beignet and Twister. They were our first cows that we got. Beignet is milking right now. She had her first baby, her baby's Biscuit. And Twister is going to have her baby any day now. So, this is a picture of the first batch of all golden yolk ingredient ice cream I just made this weekend. Super excited about that. But we are going to be the first new dairy started from the ground up in 25 years in Montana. And we're going to be the only one that sources milk and cream from our cows, and we're going to be the only ice cream maker that turns it into ice cream. So we know where it's at, cow to cone. We're going to showcase local seasonal flavors, so like Dixon Melon makes an incredible ice cream. I mean, you wouldn't think about throwing cantaloupe in ice cream would be great, but it's phenomenal. Paradise Peach, you make a peach pie, you put the whole pie in the ice cream. Think about it, pretty awesome, huh? And the reason we think that we can do this, a market study in 2012 showed that in western Montana alone, demand for 120,000 gallons of locally made ice cream. I think we can make a little dent in that. So this is who we are. My partner Laura, she's off in New Zealand right now. She's a Fulbright scholar studying their dairy policy. She has some pretty good experience in dairy in Vermont and Montana, and she's our chief animal hugger. If animals need love, Laura's there. Me, I have a degree in dairy science. I grew up on a small family farm. I have about 13 years of livestock experience, give or take. I went to Penn State ice cream school. Yes, there is such a thing. Yep, and I'm the chief pun maker. So anytime you come, you know, I can be pretty fun. Some milestones to date. We got a couple of grants, one Red Ants Pants Foundation and the Montana Farmers Union. Those two grants helped send me off to ice cream school. And we were the first land league match for CFAT. So, and that's the farm where we're at right now. 2014 is all about learning what the grasses that we're growing can do for the cows and the cows to make milk. How much we can produce on what we got going. And then it's about learning the processing, the legalities of it, all that good stuff. And then next year we want to start selling ice cream, and we want all of you to come to the farm and have a scoop with that favorite flavor that you were thinking about earlier. So this is how you get hold of us. We're going to come up. And I'm going to be serving some ice cream later. There's just a little bit so everybody can have a spoonful. I think we can spread it out. And it's a local coffee roaster. There's the Laura blend. And I made it specifically because Laura couldn't be here tonight. So, thank you.
They come from seeds. Right, organic seed co-op. Carlson.
Nope.
What's your name? Brianna.
Hi everyone, I'm Brianna. So I assume you're all here tonight because you are interested in local foods and you're concerned about the supply chain and the source of your food from farm to fork. The only problem is that sometimes Farm to Fork omits a really important piece of the puzzle, seeds. And that's where Triple Divide Organic Seed Cooperative comes in. So currently for market farmers in Montana, the majority of seed used on farms is purchased from companies in Vermont and Maine. There are also producers in Montana that grow vegetable seed under contract with these seed companies, ship their seed in bulk off to the seed company, and then if a Montana farmer or gardener purchases that seed, it's shipped back to Montana in little seed packets. So particularly in the face of an ever-consolidating seed industry, Triple Divide Organic Seed fills a really important role in our region's effort to reestablish local and regional control over our food supply. Seed, and especially seed that's grown under organic practices, and also in our region's soils and our region's climate, really create resiliency in our food supply for all of us. Triple Divide is a democratically organized, farmer-owned cooperative producing seeds, as I said, that grow well at a northern latitude and in organic systems. So the seeds we offer are all tried and true varieties that are suitable to our growing conditions. Our varieties have been selected and developed for years, even before the formation of the co-op, by our growers for their delicious taste, their vigorous growth, and their resistance to pests and diseases. And I also just want to mention that we only sell 100% Montana grown seed. We do not repack bulk seed that's been purchased from other seed houses. So as a cooperative, we also encourage and support each other, sharing knowledge and mentorship, sharing equipment, and also providing ongoing learning and professional development opportunities for our farming community. The founding members of Triple Divide are all diversified organic operations that produce vegetables, fruit, livestock, grains. Some have been established recently in the last 3 or 4 years. Others have 30 or more years of experience and are really pioneers in organic farming in our region. And of course, we all love seeds. Everyone's a member of the co-op, not just for the business opportunity, but as an opportunity to add biodiversity to the farm, expand our market diversity, and also to retain value, economic value on the farms through the sale of a value-added product, right, packaged seeds. So we also have a number of partners. We've received technical assistance from the Organic Seed Alliance, mentoring from the North Sierra Seed Cooperative in California, cooperative development support from Lake County Community Development Center, warehouse space for seed cleaning and packing from Mission Mountain Enterprise Center, and also advice. Some of you may know Garden City Seeds. We've received advice from the founders and some of the remaining producers from Garden City Seeds. So as I said, some of the members of Triple Divide have really been selecting seeds for many years now. So in 2012, a market analysis by Cardno Entrix on the demand for locally produced organic seed in our region projected that market is at a minimum $400,000 annually. So about half of that is sales to home gardeners through Montana-based garden supply and natural food retailers. The other half is to market farmers with small and medium-scale diversified farm operations. And we expect that segment of the market to grow in the next few years as the organic standards close a loophole that currently allows certified organic farms to source non-organic seed. So we've attended a number of educational opportunities, helped catalyze the seed school here in Montana. Last summer, we produced 44 varieties of seed on 6 farms. This winter, we did a lot of the business development, and here you can see us earlier this spring packing 21 varieties of seed for direct sales. So, as part of our sort of launch this year, our seed will be available at 4 locations, 3 farmers markets in Missoula, Whitefish, and Hamilton, and also a plant nursery in Polson. Next year, we plan to expand our line to 60 varieties. We'll also be launching a website for online sales. And we're going to be focusing right now on seed packet sales to home gardeners as we sort of scale up our operations to meet the breadth and volume and quality assurance required by market farms. So we have a lot of equipment to purchase in order to be able to scale up our operations, seed cleaning equipment and packaging equipment. So, and the last thing I want to say as I wrap up tonight is that I will have some seed packets available, so please, if you're a home gardener, feel free to take one. And I'm really excited. I think, as far as I know, we've swapped seed amongst ourselves to grow on farms, but I think this is the first time seed packets have been made available to the public. So thanks for coming out tonight.
Seed packets, first thing. Our last presenter, thank you, Brianna, is from Missing Link Meats, Abraham Gingrich. Is that how you say it? Gingrich. I'll be welcome.
I think you're holding it backwards.
That's why.
There you go.
Sweet. Good evening, everybody. My name is Abraham Gingrich. As I mentioned, I'm here to pitch to you Missing Link Meats. So recently, I was helping a friend break down a hog on his farm down the Bitterroot, and he remarked to me that he had tons of customers who called him wanting to buy a couple chops for the dinner table, but couldn't because of the way meat is sold between farmers and consumers here in Montana, direct from farms. This was interesting to me, so I took it upon myself to do some research, and I called around Missoula to every grocery store, meat counter, and butcher shop that I could think of, and much to my surprise, Missoula does not currently have a local product dedicated whole animal butcher shop serving it. And that, to me, is a problem with the food market here. That problem lies in the fact that the link between local producers who produce meat around here and consumers who want to eat it is broken. People can't get it unless they buy direct. From a consumer standpoint, buying direct is difficult because you have to buy in a whole or half animal format, and freezer space becomes a huge issue. If you don't have a big freezer, you can't store it. Also, a lump sum purchase like that can amount to several $100s is sort of hard to swallow. And a lot of people don't know what to do with sort of the offcuts. I don't want to call them that out of disrespect, but they're the ones that you're not used to cooking, like a pork chop. For farmers, you're passing up potentially loyal customers who would love to buy your product but can't because of the aforementioned issues that I talked about. So what's the solution? Well, Missing Link Meats would be that solution. It will be a neighborhood butcher shop, whole animal butcher shop, providing fresh, handcrafted cuts of meat strictly from animals that are pasture raised on local, sustainable family farm ranches. How's it all going to work? Well, we're going to have a set of criteria that we use to select farmers. And the most important of those are going to be their locality. So we want to keep them within 100 miles of Missoula. We want our farmers to pledge not to use GMO feeds, not to use antibiotics, not to use growth hormones, and we want them to use sustainable agricultural practices. We also want them, like Connie is, open to open gate policy, so we can keep the relationship between butcher, consumer, and farmer as transparent as possible. Once we've selected these farms, we will purchase their whole animals. They will be harvested at a state-inspected facility. They will be transported to our shop here in Missoula, where they'll be dry aged, and then they'll be handcrafted into the cuts that you and I can recognize on the table. And we're going to use a snout-to-tail philosophy at the shop with as little waste as possible. So how will we succeed? Based on my research, which was calling around, there's an empty niche in the market, and we're going to fill that niche. So if you've paid attention to the growth of the farmers markets, the locavore movement, or just the general desire of people around here to know their farmer, to know where their food comes from, and people who care about their food, we're going to capture that market. And the quality of our product and the fact that it's local is going to draw them to us. So how will we benefit the community? Well, by supporting local farmers and bringing their product to Missoulians while supporting farmers who use sustainable agricultural practices, we can reforge the link between local meat producers and local meat eaters while taking care of the land and hopefully keeping more of it in production. So who am I and why would I get involved in this? Why am I passionate about it? Well, that was one of my picks. For 2 years, I raised my own hogs from piglet to slaughter, slaughtered them, butchered them, sold them. And this experience really allowed me to redevelop my relationship with my meat eating. And I came to believe after these 2 years that the quality of life of the animals that we raise for meat is the quality of our meat and therefore our food. And it should be our paramount concern when it comes to meat eating. And for me, this project will be a chance to make a positive change that I think the meat industry frankly needs right now. So in that vein, I took a hog butchering class from the Portland Meat Collective's Camus Davis, and those are the skills I've been using to butcher hogs and other animals ever since, and I continue to and hope to keep that up. So the timeline for our business. Currently, we're in our infancy. We're working on our business plan. We're purchasing equipment. We're working on logo and branding. I'm seeking out usually a 1 to 3 month intensive butcher apprenticeship so that I can work in an immersive environment in a business that does that to expand my skills. Short term, I want to see the business open no later than next spring, hopefully this fall, optimistically. Long term, we just want to expand the business into charcuterie, which is dry cured meats, like you're eating the salamis and stuff like that, smoked meats, and cold cuts and the like. In closing, I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank CFAC, all you guys. It's been great for letting us do our pitches. And this is something I'm really excited about. I want to make a positive change in the meat industry, especially here in Missoula, and this is my chance. So thanks for having me.
How about those guys? We got applications from 15 different farms and food businesses that wanted to be a part of this tonight, and these were the ones that made us really, really excited. They all made us really, really excited, but we thought that these guys represented a real blend from old to very new, from lots of different kinds of things, and we hope that they've gotten you as excited as they've gotten us. So we've got about 10 minutes for questions. You can ask questions of anybody up here, and then we'll cut it off and we'll get back to just hanging out.
I hate to ask, and I hope I won't offend vegetarians and vegans. What are you going to do with the steers? And would they be available for veal in cafes?
Where'd egg go? They're gonna go to egg.
Good. And then also, okay, can I ask some more questions? Because you're gonna do, are you gonna be able to store enough milk and then be able to do ice cream year round? Because one of the things that I have the Buttercup is to have consistent products. So, and I'm bless you that you're going to take time off, and that's because of the death of dairy farms, is that they work the animals and the farmer to death. So, if you are going to take time off and the animals, are you going to have enough milk stored? Can you do that to make the ice cream with stored milk?
So we actually, I didn't really have enough time to kind of expand on all of our hopes and dreams, but we want to have a Montana made line. We would actually source some products from other dairies. And so we would make a line, and that would be year round. But the golden yolk specific pastured ice cream line, that would just be seasonal, just so that we can really concentrate on, taking care of the cows and showcasing those fruits and whatnot that come from here. And I can tell you a little bit more about that later.
So how about the veal question?
I'm sorry?
The veal question.
It's going to the butcher.
Oh.
I would be potentially interested, yeah. Selling her videos.
Other questions for our panel?
What do you want to know about the operation?
Here's one.
On your Montana seeds, are you taking a germination type test on it?
That's a great question. We've been developing the quality assurance protocol that I was talking about, and part of that involves germination testing. Part of that involves testing for disease, so there can actually be some lab testing that's done. And then we're also going to be doing growing tests for each other in our fields. So particularly for difficult to grow seeds, or for a grower who's maybe new at growing a particular variety, we would actually be holding back that seed for at least a season, growing it out on our farms to sort of see how it performs before making it available. So definitely.
Okay, I still have more questions. Nobody else seems to, so are you going to be able to butcher the heritage turkeys and make them available? And are you going to be taking poultry? Because this has been one of the huge missing links of everybody growing wonderful chickens and turkeys, but no way to butcher them and sell them for meat to sell.
We're not able to sell them to a restaurant at this point. We're butchering our turkeys on our farm ourselves under the exemption where basically people are buying the bird in advance and then we're doing them the favor of butchering it. And so we're only able to sell you to me, not to a store, unfortunately.
that's something that I'll definitely looking into. I haven't gotten to that point yet in terms of poultry. But yeah, I know there's.
Last question before we.
A question about the meat. Do you plan on having your own storefront? Did I not catch that? So it's your own storefront with all these different parts, and you're not going to distribute it to?
No, the plan is to have a brick and mortar butcher shop that only does meat.
Awesome.
And I mean, there's potential. We've talked about potential down the road to pair it with, say, cheeses that local farmers make. Just have retail side of it as well. But to start, it's going to definitely just be local meats.
Are you looking at a certain area in town yet, or are you still?
I started looking at places to lease, and I realized I had the cart before the horse because I didn't have my business plan finished and all that. So yes, I have looked around, and there's a lot of great places out there that I've already looked at. But I need to get my ducks in a row financially before, and hope I'm not overstepping my bounds there before I. Before I settle on a place and then get my heart broken because I don't have everything in line. I want to make sure I have my business plan finalized and ready to go. But yeah, it would be, I've looked at the west side, sort of the Draftworks area. I've looked at, where Draftworks and Summer Sun Brew and Garden is. I've looked downtown. I've looked, it'd be somewhere I want to have foot traffic definitely, and a lot of other businesses around. So there's a lot of places. But, yeah.
All right, let's give these guys one more round of applause. For innovative ideas and for coming here to share them with us. And thank you all for being here tonight. I'm the director of the Community Food and Agriculture Coalition, which is sponsoring with the SBC. And CPAC is actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year, working on local food issues and working to conserve agricultural land for the future, and working to increase the amount of markets and greater access to local food, and trying to connect the dots on a number of different fronts. And certainly are excited to bring this kind of venue here, where everybody can kind of help share and invest in our future in local food. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We do have an evaluation of tonight that I hope everyone will fill out, and then we'll have plenty of time afterward to speak individually with each of these people, get to know them a little bit more, and how you can be a part of their endeavors in the next few months. So mostly what we want to know is what you liked best, if you like this kind of event, and what kind of other investing formats you might want to be involved with, investment clubs, fee-based events, any other ideas that you may know about and could share with us that we can help facilitate. So thanks again for coming. There's still plenty of food and beverages, and please stick around and ask more questions of these people.
Since this was such a first time trying it on kind of event, your feedback this time is especially important. So please go out of your way to write down some thoughts so that we know how to go move forward from here. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
This is our first ever Farm Fresh PitchFest here in Montana, and we had a great group of people here tonight. We had a great group of pitchers, really wide range of businesses, and we're really excited to see what comes out of it.